Hi guys, welcome to Brooklyn Cooking. My name is Howard. I'm the chef owner of Lucky Luna Restaurant in Brooklyn, New York. And today we'll be making a dish that we make at the restaurant called a Peking duck bun. For this dish, you're going to need about 2 quarts of rendered duck fat, some coarse ground sea salt, a spice mix, tablespoon each of ginger, coriander seed, fennel seed, a 3-star anise, a cinnamon stick, zest of 1 orange, and 2 bay leaves. 5 steam buns, some finely sliced scallions, some finely sliced red chilies, a hoisin mayo, which is just hoisin and mayonnaise, and 3 duck legs. We're going to start by seasoning the duck. We're going to put some coarse sea salt on the plate. And I'm going to break up some of the spices onto the plate. We just want to cure the duck legs to pull out some of the moisture and also to season it with the flavoring that is typically found in Peking duck. So I'm going to put the duck legs directly on there. And don't be afraid to season it pretty heavily. And then we just have to set this in the refrigerator overnight until it pulls out some of that moisture and the duck legs are seasoned. Here we have 3 duck legs that we have already cured overnight. We're just going to rinse them off and pat them dry. One of the great things about this dish is that it's like a street food. You can eat it with your hands. You don't ever need any utensils. Everything about this dish is ready to be taken on the go. All right, so now we're going to put our duck fat inside of a pot and bring it up to temp. Now that the fat is pretty much liquid, I'm going to pour it on top of the duck legs. Pour enough duck fat on top of the duck so that they're fully submerged. I'm going to bring this up to temperature, and it helps to have this fat to a hot temperature before we put it inside the oven. Now that you can see that the bubbles are starting to come up vigorously, you can shut it off and set it into our oven that's been preheated to 250 degrees. The cooking time on these duck legs can vary anywhere between 2.5 hours to like 4 or 5 hours, depending on really how big your duck legs are, how hot your fat is. And the way to tell if they're done is to kind of see if the meat bends at the joint, and also the meat pulls away from the bone a little bit. With this leftover duck fat, you can save it. You just strain it through a fine mesh sieve and just make sure that there's no liquid on the bottom. The confit duck is great because as long as it's underneath the fat, you can store it in a fridge or freezer for months, and this is a great way to preserve your duck and just to store all the strained fat back on top of the duck legs. All right, now that the duck legs are cool enough to handle, we're going to start pulling the skin off of the duck legs. And we're going to save the duck skin for making crispy skins. You can tear up the meat a little bit too, or you can leave it whole so it stays a little chunkier, or you could shred it like this. All right, now that the duck legs have been separated, we're going to put the skin inside of the pan and render it like bacon so that we can get the skin nice and crispy. I'll put it on medium-low heat and just let it slowly render out the fat. And while we're waiting for that, we're going to get my steamer set up. I have a little bit of water in the bottom. I'm just going to bring that up. As soon as it comes to a boil, we'll drop our steam buns inside. So I'm just breaking up the skin a little bit so it kind of helps the fat escape, and we can use its own fat to get it nice and crispy. The whole concept behind bao actually is a very Taiwanese thing, and when it came to America, we dropped the gua part of the name of the dish and we just call it bao, and it really literally means a wrap. So these are steam buns. They're wrapping duck today. So this is the color you want. It's nice and golden brown here. It doesn't feel crispy to the touch when you're moving it around with the spoon, but I guarantee once you let it sit on a paper towel for a little while, let it cool down, it'll get crispy. Now I'm going to put the steam buns inside of the steamer. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to get it nice and soft. As soon as it's soft, it's ready to go, and we're going to start plating it. Now that the buns are soft, I'm going to take them out, put them on the plate. All right, now that we're ready to plate the buns, I'm going to show you how to make one. You start with the bun, open it up a little bit, put a little bit of the hoisin mayo inside, put some of our shredded duck inside the bun, a little bit of the crispy skin, and then I'm going to put some of the scallions on top, a little bit red chili shreds, and just put it on this plate here. I cut a little bit of red cabbage just for color. And there you have it, the Peking duck bun. The reason why we love this dish at the restaurant is because of the nice tender duck, crispy skin, the scallions, and all the ingredients that pair so well together. For this recipe and more, check us out at brooklyn-cooking.com. I'll see you at Lucky Luna.